How you doing, guys? Handsome Guy Gaming, and this is going to be my first commentary um, in the form of a PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to go over the Nvidia DLSS 5, the GPT moment for graphics for just AI slop, understanding the backlash, the technology, and the CEO's defense. So, before we get into it, we have to understand background information. So what is DLSS5? It's a GPT moment for graphics, billed as the biggest leap since real-time ray tracing in 2018. Neural rendering, not just upscaling, moves beyond generating extra frames. It uses AI to inject photoreal lighting, skin subsurface scattering, and material sheen directly into the geometry. Hollywood VFX in 16 milliseconds aims to bring cinematic level rendering to real-time gameplay at 4K resolution. Hardware demand. Early GTC 2026 demos required serious hardware, reportedly running on dual RTX 5090s, optimized for upcoming 50 series architecture. So to truly understand DLSS5, we have to look at the massive gap between Hollywood CGI, which can take hours to render a single frame, and video games, which have about 60 milliseconds to get a frame on screen. We are all used to the classic compromise of toggling between performance and ray tracing modes on hardware like the PS5 Pro or the new Switch 2. DLSS5 is attempting to completely eliminate that compromise and analyzes the game engine's raw color and motion vectors and uses a trained AI model to paint high-end lighting and textures over the 3D models in real time. The loss of artistic intent. This is AI slop controversy here. The gamers accuse Nvidia of applying generic AI beauty filter that overwrites the original art direction. Exhibit A, Resident Evil Requiem, as we can see right here. The character Grace Ashcroft was heavily criticized for looking like a generated dating profile picture rather than a rugged survivor. The Uncanny Valley. Titles like Starfield and Hogwarts Legacy showed photoreal lighting clashing awkwardly with older, stiffer character animations. The core complaint: art loses what makes it impressive when it all looks like generated slop. The internet reaction was immediate and harsh. When the first comparison clips dropped, the core identity of the game seemed completely washed out. Take the character Grace from Resident Evil Requiem. Fans pointed out that the AI smoothed out all her rugged, defining features, turned her into a generic Instagram model, which I could probably agree to a small amount. When building an audience around a game story or streaming its aesthetic, that unique visual identity is everything. Slapping a homogeneous photoreal filter over different engines makes a Capcom game look indistinguishable from a Bethesda game, and players push back hard against that loss of soul. Jensen Huang's defense. He states they are completely wrong. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang's direct response to the community backlash at the GTC questions and answers. Content control generative AI. Huang insists DLSS5 is not a post-processing filter applied at the frame level. Anchor geometry. The AI is strictly tied to the game's original 3D models and textures. It does not hallucinate new objects. The ray tracing parallel. Huang compared the pushback to 2018, noting that early ray tracing was also pooed before becoming the industry standard. Jensen Huang did not back down during the GTC press conference when asked about the technology ruining game aesthetics. He flat out stated that critics are completely wrong. His Main technical defense is that people are misunderstanding how the tool operates. It's not a simple Instagram filter laid over the final screen. It's content control generative AI working at the geometry level. Because it is fed the specific 3D data of the game, Huang argues it is physically impossible for the AI to wildly hallucinate or change the underlying architecture of what the artist built. The developer perspective. A new tool, not a replacement. Nvidia states that the CDK allows developers to mask off areas, alter color grading, and dial the AI intensity up or down. Bethesda's optimism and caution. Todd Howard praised the tech for removing traditional rendering limits, but Bethesda clarified their artists will still further adjust the lighting to fit their style. The AI stigma. Epic Games developers noted that if this exact visual leap was presented purely as next-gen hardware rather than AI, the game community would be celebrating it. Totally optional. Developers are not forced to use it, and games will offer it as a toggle for players. So you guys don't really have to worry about actually implementing it in the game. It's your option if you want an Instagram filler or not. So I don't know what's with the backlash, really. The people actually making the games are caught in the middle. On one hand, studios like Bethesda are officially on board, with Todd Howard praising how it lets details shine. But they were also quick to damage control on social media, promising that the final look will be entirely under their artists' control and totally optional for players. Interestingly, some developers have pointed out a massive double standard. If Nvidia had achieved these exact same visuals using traditional brute force rendering, gamers would be losing their minds with hype. It is the label of generative AI that carries a massive stigma right now. So, what's my opinionated take on all this? Okay, the homogenization trap. The biggest issue with DLSS 5 isn't that it looks bad, but that it looks the same. If every game uses the same Nvidia trained model for realism, we risk a future where a Capcom game, a Bethesda game, and a Ubisoft game all have the same AI face and AI lighting. It is the McDonaldization of aesthetic. The Samsung Moon comparison. This feels like the controversy where Samsung phones use AI to add detail to photos of the moon. Yes, the results look better to the eye, but it is just a photo, or in the case, a render. Any more? If the AI is inventing pores on a face that the artist didn't draw, it's a deep fake of a video game, really. The growing pains argument. Remember, when DLSS 1.0 launched, it was blurry and terrible. Now DLSS 4.5 is considered essential. Jensen Huang is likely right that the technology is revolutionary, but he's wrong to dismiss the cultural backlash. Gamers aren't wrong for wanting to see the art they paid, rather than a beautified version of it. Well, guys, I mean, DLSS 5, when it comes down to it, I really think the character models aren't that bad. I think it's mostly just the backgrounds and the lighting that are off. But, it's all just speculation, in my opinions. You won't actually know for sure until it's actually out and you try it yourselves. Heck, they could probably update it where it actually meets gamer demand. They won't receive backlash. But that's just all opinions. So if you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, and subscribe to Handsome Guy Gaming. And I am out.